Welcome to day 10 of the Black Knight Inspiration Challenge. Today we're going to look at relationships, another big meaty topic. But first I just wanted to go through a bit of my own process, which came up yesterday, arose yesterday. And as I said, we're 95% unconscious, so that applies to me. I'm in the container and going through the challenge the same as you. So the videos aren't pre-recorded. I prefer to do it as we go because I get a better sense of the group and we travel together along the journey. So yesterday was a big day for me. I didn't overly realize it, but I'd actually maxed. I maxed trying to get the videos done every day, and the feedback has been really great. From people around the world. And I think, without knowing it in my unconscious, I wanted to do the chimes and add in the chimes. Now, in the end of the day, the technology didn't work, and I was trying to get it done. I went into my body along with doing the meditation, the Hara meditation that I practice, and basically, it was like I didn't feel good enough, I didn't feel I had what it takes. The 21 days, it's just a lot, and I felt just myself, just being me, wasn't good enough. And I had to add in something like the chimes to be a bit more, that the meditation wasn't good enough as it was, me being me. I had to add in something extra, something extra. It was really, and then the day just went late, and the tech didn't work, and that's what happens. We try and do things that just aren't us, aren't natural. So it was very much yesterday walking the talk, of the program in my own life, and so I just wanted to share that with you. It's this is where the unconscious, I didn't realize it. I was putting in the chimes, doing the tech, and it was only when I did the meditation, did the Hara, that I realized what I was trying to do. And what was underneath that was really a self-worth issue, which is what, the roots and the trunk. It's conscious, staying conscious of it all the time. And it's what's great about this work is I got that in the meditation, was able to gather back in today for the next day. You can recalibrate much easier, do the meditation, work it through, find out, and so you're not knocked out as much. Like, years ago, I that would have knocked me out completely. I wouldn't have realized what the next, could have knocked me out for a few days. My confidence would have gone. So this work, it doesn't mean that you don't ever get knocked out. That's really important, but it means you can recoup much quicker. It's like when I used to play soccer in college. We used to train, like really train, very, very, very hard. And what it meant was you're running around the pitch, but actually, and you'd get out of breath, but your ability to gather back, because you trained very hard, your oxygen gather back to recoup was much better. So you'd be back ready to go after a few a few minutes after doing some really hard running. So this is the same. It's getting you fit for life as a man. So that if you do get knocked, you can gather back and be able to come into the next day in your black night, So with that in mind, today, as I said, we're looking at relationships, and it's with the trunk, we're doing the trunk. I wanted to cover things that knock the trunk out of balance. So yesterday was about the whole world and your unconscious and dealing with all of that as yourself in the middle. Today it's about the other topic that I find in my own life and also with my clients. Relationships are the other thing that knocks us out of our center, because they're such a close thing for us, be it our family or our partner or in work or and ultimately our relationship with ourselves. So so that's why I wanted to put it in here. It's a really important part of the trunk. So the way I work it is in a 4-stage model of where all relationships go. Okay, they take the 4 stages. This is not, it's a map, it's not the territory, but it's a really good way of understanding where you are in your relationship to anything. Okay, so first stage is honeymoon. Okay, and that's where, anything. If it's with a partner, it's the honeymoon. Everything is bright and magical, and it's can do no wrong. It's like it's just this wonderful time, honeymoon time. You can get it in a job. If you get a new job, it's like I've got a new job, and they're all great at work, and the work is great, and it's new and it's fresh. Anything, it's just this honeymoon, this lovely honeymoon period that you get at the start. It glows, the whole thing glows, whether it's your partner or the job, or it's amazing. It's a lovely time. And that will last, as long as it lasts. It could last from, with a partner, it could last from, for 5 minutes to, a few years. It doesn't really, there's no times on this. It just lasts. It's a stage. But you'll know when the honeymoon stage runs out and you get to the next stage, which is power struggle. And power struggle is where, if we take a partner, it's where the gloss, a little bit of the gloss, a dent in the gloss, they begin to show up kind of human things. You are in a relationship with a human after all. But in the honeymoon period, you don't feel that. You just feel like it's just this big glow. But at a certain point, the glow just goes off. Or with the job, your boss starts doing things, or people in the company you kind of go, this is not really the company that I thought at the start. It's a part. You just get into this power struggle as conflicts start coming up, and there's kind of energy, kind of maybe arguments or fight. There's just these conflicts start coming up in power struggle. You struggle within the relationship at that stage. So then in the power struggle, it begins to get a bit overwhelming, and we kind of go, I just want my own space, either in relationship or in work. And so by creating our own space, we sit at our own desk in work. I'm not going to get involved with all, that's just too many conflicts. I'm going to sit at my desk, just do my work. I'm going to come in at the time, do my work and leave. That's it. Or in a relationship, you just go, I'm going to create my own little space over here, because it's just fighting. There are nice times and all, and that's the thing about power struggle. Power struggle in a relationship, the energy is up and down. So there can be, big arguments, then make up sex, then big arguments, make up sex. So there's a lot of energy around it, but it can become exhausting. So we just create our own little space. I'm going to just be over here, have my own time with my own friends, and then we can get together, at home or whatever. So you begin to create your own space, but in that own space that you've created, you separate. Power struggle, you've begun to separate from the person. And in the next stage, you've separated away. You've gone into your own space, just for peace. I just want to sit at my desk, or I just want to be away from the person for a while. Give me my own little bit of space. And over time, that little space that you've created for yourself, you're in the next stage, which is the dead zone. Yeah. And you're sitting at your desk, there's no energy, or you've created your own space in your house or with your friends, and the energy, it's just because you went into relationship or went for the new job to get energy, to get, with the new person, with the new job, I want to experience something really great. And then you end up in the dead zone. You've separated away from the very thing that you were trying to connect with. So this, you can see people in if you're looking at relationships, looking at a couple, you can see them in the dead zone. There's no energy. There's nothing. There's nothing going on. Now, what happens to some people is they actually go backwards a stage, they go back into power struggle, because at least in power struggle there was energy. There was, okay, there was arguments, but there was sex. There was a lot of energy in the power struggle. So they go back, but you can't. It's not really. Your psyche wants you to move through the stages. Okay, so you can see these stages like chapters in a book. So you're at chapter 1 in honeymoon stage, and then you move to chapter 2. And at the end of each chapter, there's kind of little exercises to do, and you get through the exercises, you move on to the next chapter. And in your psyche, you're moving through these chapters. So your psyche gets to experience relationships all the way through. That's the point. All the way through the stages. So the last stage, final stage, is true partnership. And it's a visionary state. A visionary state where both of you together, or in the job, you're interdependent. You both literally dance together, weave together as more than the couple or the interface that you are in the job. So it becomes a whole new level within your psyche of existence. You've pushed through the dead zone into an amazing state. And it's in interdependence, we get to be ourselves, the best of ourselves, and we also lean in to the other person for the things that they can do better than we can. And the same with the job. We get to show our light, and we lean into the work, whatever organization we're working for what they will give us. So it's interdependent. You get this amazing interdependence and flow of energy. In dependence is where we're totally dependent on, you're just depending on the person. That's not a place to be in the long term. Then here you've gone independent. You've gone totally independent. Listen, I'm just going to go independent. But you don't want to be independent, because you're getting into a relationship to be in relationship. So independence is not what you want to be. But if you push through, you're going to push through to this final true partnership. So it's all at all times, all the way through the stages. The way through is joining. Okay? Joining. So if you get into power struggle, what you try and do through the conflicts and all is you try and join with the person. It's the opposite of what you're is happening here, because you're separating. So when you're separating, you just go, no, I'm going to turn back towards the person or the work. Yeah, instead of separating and looking, I'm turning away. I'm actually going to face the work and join with it. And that's in our. It's difficult to do, because we don't want to do that. We just we go, listen, this is really uncomfortable. I'm gonna separate. But if we can turn and join. And so the relationships are really, as I said, with a partner, with your work, and also ultimately with yourself. So if you can join with yourself instead of separating, we separate away from our natural selves. If you can join with what is the real you, that natural self within you, just join, always with that little, creative, spontaneous, happy, natural side of you. That's what you're trying to join with, as opposed to just separating away and just going, no, I'm going to do something else. I just don't want to be me, So the main thing here is actually, and I'll put it in a different color, is to be conscious. Okay? So it doesn't, everybody wants to be in true partnership, but actually if you're conscious of what stage you're in, so you say, I'm in honeymoon, that's great. So just enjoy that stage. If you're in power struggle, be conscious. I'm in power struggle. Okay, that's where we are. And what do we do, and how do we move along? Now, obviously people don't want to run at the next stage because it's dead zone, but still you're making it to true partnership. And even in true partnership, it's a loop. You'll go back into honeymoon, and you'll move up again, but at a higher level. So each time in your relationship, you're moving up the stages. It's more of a spiral. You're moving up the levels, getting to a higher level of consciousness. Now, what some people do though is they'll jump ship. So they'll jump job. They'll get into power struggle, they get into dead zone, they'll just say, I'm out of here. This work, this organization, this whatever, I'm out of here, right? So they just jump ship. But if you jump ship, what happens is, let's say you've only made it to dead zone in your organization or your work or your career, and you jump ship. You then go back chapters to chapter 1. So the next job, honeymoon period, everything seems great, the new work, the new building, the new staff, it's all great. You're going to then go to chapter 2, power struggle with them. Then you're going to go to the dead zone because you never made it. You never made it to true partnership. So you jump ship at chapter 3, dead zone. And you start again. So the same with a relationship. If you say, started a relationship with a woman, honeymoon period was amazing. Then we went into power struggle, conflict and all. Then we just, it's dead zone. The energy went. I just jumped. I just said, listen, this is not a relationship for me. I need to be out of here. So you just jump ship to another relationship. Okay, another woman, honeymoon, back to chapter 1, honeymoon period. Oh my God, and I have clients the same. It's like, oh yes, she's amazing. She's, everything to me. She understands me. She's great. And I'm going like, yeah, but you're in honeymoon. You didn't make it past chapter 3. So you're back in honeymoon with this new woman. You're going to go to power struggle again, chapter 2. You're then going to go dead zone, chapter 3. So at some point, same as me in my life, at some point, you've got to push through dead zone in your psyche to make it into true partnership. So that you're in your psyche as in relationships has made it to chapter 4 of the book of life, and that you can do that in anything. You can do that in your work, in your relationships with women, or you can do it in your relationship with yourself. It's just about doing all the 4 chapters of relationships and making it through. So for me, this is incredible. Like, it's incredible to know the stages, a bit like the stages of life, white knight, red knight, black knight. Once you know the stages of relationships that we all go through, it's incredible. It just goes, okay, that's where we are. And what do we need to do? Stay conscious. Stay conscious of what stage you're in, what chapter of the book you're in. And there will be exercises at the end of each chapter that you need to do. Stay conscious. And secondly, joining. Join with the person. Turn towards the person instead of separating. Turn towards them. Same with your work. Same with yourself. Turn towards the organization. Turn towards your work. Turn towards yourself. And that will help you push through, because you're doing the opposite of you separate into power struggle, you separate into dead zone, and then here you're gone. You find it really hard. Whereas if you join, you'll move through these much quicker. So relationships, a lot of life is what relationships are about. So love to hear what you feel about this. I'm going to give you some journaling prompts for today. Best way to work it through. And tomorrow I will see you for the halfway mark. Incredible. Well done. Really well done on getting this far. Well done.